It's here, you guys. It's here. We finally are going to be getting this update in 2 hours and 37 minutes from right now, the time of recording this video. So what is going on, summoners? The anticipation has been killing us. Super excited, okay? Skills are here. They have been released. All right. G-string masters and art masters. That's right. So we're going to see this update tonight. Here is some more artwork of the art master and the string master. So it looks like first up for the skills, we're going to look at the art masters. All right, you guys. So we have not looked at any of this yet. This is first impressions. These things were just released. Okay. They were just released. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready? Let's see if we can do some theory crafting here and figure out what is gonna work where. Let's see if we're gonna have some meta changing units, whether it's RTA or PvE or Siege, whatever. Let's see. All right. So the Art Master, they're fire, water support, dark support, wind and light are attack. Okay. Cool looking monsters. They look like druids. They kind of look like the druids, but they got a paintbrush instead of the druid staff. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Mark of Brush Tip. This is going to be the first skill for everybody. Attacks the enemy to decrease the attack bar by 30% with a 50% chance. Okay, that's the same for everybody, right? That's decent. Okay, that's decent. Water one is busted. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Attacks the enemy to decrease the attack bar by 30% with a 50% chance. Okay, cool. Scroll Trap. Seals the enemy in the scroll, leaving the enemy out of the battle for a designated period of time. Like they're banished from the battlefield. This isn't the graveyard. This is the discard pile. They're banished out. Okay. The duration of the seal increases according to your attack speed. If all enemies are sealed, the target with the least duration time left will be released. Like the Dark Rift Beast, yes. Absolutely, just like the Dark Rift Beast. That's essentially what that sounds like, or Necro. But it's not like Necro because they don't attack for you. You don't steal them, they're just banished, yeah, to the Shadow Realm. They're out of the field. So I don't know if it's like it sounds like they're gonna have a bar, like an attack bar that's going to decrease over time until they're allowed back on the battlefield, and that bar will be larger based on your attack speed. Okay, so fast violent is going to be a thing because you can banish more than one unit at a time, which is nuts. So fire and light are the two that have this skill. Okay. That's kind of nuts. All right, third skill, Blossom Painting. Attacks all enemies to remove all of their beneficial effects. Increases the attack power of all allies for 2 turns afterwards. That's pretty fucking dope. That's pretty dope. Okay, Fire Art Master, he is most definitely gonna be huge in PvP and RTA. Okay, then the Scroll Trap, like we don't get to see the cooldowns on it. I imagine it's gonna be somewhere around the neighborhood, probably a 5-turn cooldown with, and then maybe 4 turns after skill ups. It should be the Lightning Emperor counter, maybe, but I feel like he counters a lot, and because Scroll Trap scales off of attack speed, I can see this guy being built on Fast Swift. There's no attack bar manipulation, so that might be a deciding factor to put him on Violent instead, because you're still going to want your attack bar manipulators to move first, your Chiwus or your Bastets or your Tianas, whatever they are. But I actually see this being really huge. He could also be a lot of fun on arena defenses. I think he is going to be nuts for arena defense. Who's dealing drugs in there? I don't know, man. I like this. This is a new mechanic. This is something different, right? All right, let's move on to the water one. So Mark of Brush Chip, that's the same, okay? A little bit of attack bar manipulation. It's not a steal, it's just a decrease. It's just a pushback. It's very similar to the Horuses and their first skill, right? Moon Drawn by Clouds attacks all enemies to remove all beneficial effects granted on them and to increase the chance of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns with a 50% chance each. Now, I expect that 50% chance is probably going to increase with skill ups, okay? Now, if that 50% only applies to the glancing hit, that's really good. If that also applies to the removal of the beneficial effects, that sucks. Okay, even if that goes up to like 65 or 75% chance with skill ups, that's actually pretty shitty. It's a skill 2 AoE strip, which is really nuts. Okay, like that's unheard. Aside from oracles, I don't think that's a thing. Okay, yeah, it does say each. That's right, Zavs. It says each. So you have a 50% chance to strip. I don't like that. I don't see that. There's too much left to go wrong. If it's a coin flip, right? It's a coin. It's like, hey, I'm gonna take this unit in. It's a coin flip whether or not he's gonna do his job. I don't know. I don't know if that's what I like, right? You can already hear me yelling as the opponent bioprocs seals off my team. Yeah, that'll happen, dude. That'll happen. But that's gonna happen. Like, that's gonna be a thing, especially if people are running, you know, the fire one and the light one. That's gonna be nuts. All right, so the water one's got an AoE strip on skill 2. We're gonna have to wait and see how much that percent chance to activate increases due to skill ups. If it goes up to like 90 or 100% on skill ups, he's gonna be really, really good, depending what the cooldown is, right? If it's a 3-turn cooldown after skill up, that's actually gonna be really awesome, really awesome. Art of Blank Space, passive ability. When enemies remove harmful effects, the attack bar of all allies will be increased by 25%. When they remove harmful effect, when they cleanse themselves, all of your allies' attack bars go up by 25% every time they cleanse. Whether it's a single target cleanse or a multi-target cleanse, Juno counter for sure. Juno counter for sure. Not so much Tiana. Not Tiana off opening turn. Right? If it's Tiana later in the game, absolutely. Once you've applied some. But like my Lima as a cleanser, huge. Juno, huge. No, I don't think it's 25% for each harmful effect. I think it's a static 25% regardless. Whether it's 1 harmful effect on one enemy or 3 harmful effects on all of your entire team. That would be too OP. That would be too OP. Because it gives it to your entire team, right? But that's neat. That's an effect that doesn't really exist in the game anywhere right now. And I think in certain places, he could actually be useful. But again, it's really going to come down to what the skill up effects look like on these things, right? This shit is so game changing. Yo, Zaggy, what's going on? It is. I think this is actually something that could shake up the meta a little bit, which is really good. You know, it's going to take time to see this as these things make their way into the ecosystem, right? Like, not everybody's going to have these units right away. Sure, a few lucky people and a few people that wail to buy these units essentially we'll get them pretty quick, but Z squad in the house. Yeah, that's right, we got all the Z's here tonight. I want light and fire art masters. Wait till you see wind string master. Yeah, we'll get to those string masters here in a minute. All right, wind. So this is an attack type unit, so the same first skill, Mark of Brush Tip. Okay, Moon Drawn by Clouds does the same thing. Okay, so this is important to know, is that wind and dark and water all have this skill 2 AoE strip and glancing application. 50% chance, so you know, again, it's going to depend what the skill ups look like to see how viable this unit is. I think it's going to have to really get over 85% to be considered really viable as a stripper. So wind skill 3, serious matter. This is a very serious matter, you guys, so pay attention. Attacks all enemies 3 times to decrease their attack bar by 50% with each attack. Increases the skill cooldown time by 1 turn if the target's attack bar is 0. That is nuts. That is nuts. Paired with that skill too, they're making wind units just OP as fuck right now. So you skill 2, you strip all their buffs. In theory, if he's doing his job properly, he strips everything, okay? Then you skill 3 him. If he lands the pushback, which it doesn't give us a probability, so which means it's a guaranteed activation. I assume it's still going to go through accuracy resistance, okay? He pushes everybody back and decreases their skill cooldown time. So if you violent proc from skill 2 to skill 3, you can just put that opponent right down, right off the bat. And if you have any CC to follow that up, you've got them on lockdown. Gani, Okeanos, Hathor, you can defense break, you can do pretty much anything. He could actually be really viable in some cleave comps. Up to 150% attack bar. That is absolutely huge, because that can actually, somebody that's accumulated over 100% attack bar can still be pushed back to 0. Now, if the skill cooldown reduction happens, if that applies at the start of the attack before the attack bar pushback, if they're over 100% attack bar, you won't be able to push to cool them down, even if you reduce their attack bar to 0. Yeah, we got to see their base speed and their base stats. That is going to play a role, as well as the skill cooldowns and the activation chance, especially on skill 2. But this wind one, the fire one and the wind one are looking really good right now. The water one seems pretty niche, okay? The water one I can definitely see being good in some PvE, especially in some labyrinth dungeons, maybe such certain TOA floors. The wind one is going to be good in all PvE content and good in all PvP content. The fire one, I'm really excited to see what that can do, maybe on arena defense and stuff too. All right, light one. This is an attack type as well. So he's got the same first, mark a brush tip, okay. Scroll trap, again, same as the fire one. You seal an enemy in a scroll. The faster you are, the longer they're sealed. And you can seal up to everybody, and whoever's coming back soonest is going to automatically just come back. You don't just win the game by sealing everybody away, but... Yo, Jay-Z, welcome back. Let's start over. Hey, we're doing a YouTube vid, man. So you can go back and watch the YouTube vid once we post it, but it'll be going up tonight. I promise you that. All right. So scroll trap, super OP skill here. Light one, final touch, third skill. Draws a giant dragon to attack. Finally, one of the Artmasters draws something. Draws a giant dragon to attack all enemies. I love dragons, by the way. I got a nice big one tattooed right on my side here. I fucking love dragons. I'll stop segueing now. This attack cannot be counterattacked. Leica. This attack cannot be counterattacked. Artemil. And all passive skills of the enemies are not activated. This is a built-in oblivion. This thing is going to be OP as fuck. This is a game-changing unit. Everything right now it's a passive meta, you guys. This is nuts. This is, if you pull the light Artmaster, good game. Good fucking game. You just won RTA. Oh, he's gonna be, the only way he doesn't get banned is if you either bring no passives, or if you don't know what he does. If you don't understand the skill, or you haven't bothered to read it and understand it. Or you're like me and you forget what units do all the time. But he's new and he's fresh and he's hyped, so you're probably not going to forget. I'm probably not going to forget. He's going to be instant banned in RTA. He's a forced ban in 90% of the drafts out there. This is nuts. This is fucking nuts. Oh, I want one, man. I want one so bad. Okay, I need to win the lottery so that I can buy this unit. Because it's probably going to take thousands of scrolls, let's be realistic. See you when I get 1 in 50. Yeah, that's right? Like, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. Cannot be counterattacked and just ignores, like, built-in oblivion on that. Now, it's only on this skill. Okay, it's not a passive ability. It's only on skill 3. But that's still huge. Like, this is Rocky, but on the whole nother level. Whole other level. And it's AoE. It's just gonna do damage to you and fuck you. That's it. I don't even care what his base speed is. You put your best set on something like this, or you put no runes on it at all. You put no runes on it at all because you know it's gonna get banned. You can literally build 4 units for RTA now if you pull this and you pick this as your 5th and he's banned. And then you've got your 4 best units, 4 best rune sets in the game. You win. Congratulations. Like, this is nuts. This is absolutely nutty. All right. Dark one. Dark Artmaster. So, same first skill. Moon drawn by clouds. Okay, we know that this is the one that it's a skill 2 AoE strip, 50% chance, and then applies glancing buff. So hopefully that 50% chance gets increased by a decent amount through skill ups. Okay, third skill, Mask of Devil. Removes the harmful effects granted on all allies, and the selected target will go under threat state while the enemies attack 2 times. You will gain a turn out. I'm gonna read this again for my own understanding. Removes the harmful effects granted on all allies. Okay, full team cleanse. The selected target, so you get to choose whichever ally you want, right? Ophelia, yeah. I don't know if she became a Nat 3. This is an LD5, so it should be a stronger version. And I'm so happy that they're bringing threat state in more. I really am. So you can put another unit under threat state, any unit you want. Belinus or Tyrannus, right? With something with that built-in counter. Miho on threat state, like fuck yeah, right? Like gross, just gross. Will go under threat state while the enemies attack 2 times. So does that mean it's a 2-turn threat state? I think that's what that means, right? It's a weird wording, but I'm pretty sure it means that's basically a threat state with a 2 counter on it, so you have to hit it twice. You will gain a turn afterwards. So you fully cleanse, okay? You set threat state on a unit, and then you get another turn. It's decent. It's decent. I don't know if he's going to be game changing. I think he's going to be a good support unit, absolutely. And in the right drafts, in the right comps, I think he'll be really strong. I think he's going to be super strong in a lot of PvE content. But the light one here, the light one takes the cake, you guys. He is the shining star here. Wind is really good too. I really like the wind one, but the light is the OP one. Light, that is a game changer. That unit is the counter to everything that is meta right now. 100%. I mean, again, it's going to come down to base stats, and, you know, he can still be sniped. He can still be one-shotted, I'm sure, by certain units like Oberons or well-built Daphneses. And, you know, he's certainly not an unbeatable unit, which is good. But, oh, so strong. So strong, that kit. All right, that is the Artmasters. Now, String Masters. So... let me breathe for a sec here. Okay, so it looks like these are all support units, okay? So, we're gonna get one of these, the Fire, Water, Wind ones, from this event. This update drops tonight, you guys, and a lot of people I know have already got their 100 points ready to go to get this scroll and summon this unit tonight. Good luck. I hope you get the one that you want. Let's see which one you're gonna want. Okay, so Fire Spark, Flower Blooming Song. This skill is the same for all 5 units, and that is attacks the enemy to increase the chance of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns with a 50% chance. Finally, another unit that has glancing on first skill. What was the last one? Sky Dancer? That has glancing on the first skill? That's decent, and 50% for a skill 1 is actually pretty good, and chances are it goes up to 65. I guess Fairy Kings, yeah, Fairy Kings do it too. Okay, yeah, Pixies, sure, but I'm talking about relevant units that people actually use outside of like a Shannon and GB10, you know. All right. Melody of Resentment. So this skill is shared with Wind and Light. Plays a song that decreases the HP of the enemy that gets a turn by 5% each and decreases the attack power for 1 turn with a 50% chance until the next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. Interesting. I was wondering if it was gonna have a bard type mechanic to it, right? Because they felt like they would have something like that. So it actively plays a song that is its skill until its next turn to do something, right? Plays a song that decreases the HP of the enemy that gets a turn by 5% each and decreases the attack power for 1 turn with a 50% chance until the next turn starts. A dot for all your Vio opponents, pretty much. It's a dot for everybody that gets a turn. So yeah, you probably want her to be fairly slow so that she can keep that going, right? Like a Halphus type build, but more of an offensive version of that, I guess. I don't know if that skill is super amazing, to be honest. If you got multiple of them playing a song at once, that could be a thing. Like it depends what you pair them up. But yeah, let's go read the next song. So skill 3, Millennium Melody. Plays a song that increases the attack bar of all allies, excluding yourself, by 15% each. Recovers the HP of the ally that gets a turn by 15% each and increases the attack power for 1 turn until the next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing a song. So it's another song playing mechanic where until you activate the skill, you start playing your song, and that you play that song until your next natural turn occurs. So you definitely do not want this unit on violent, by the way. This is one unit that screams no violent. You would. I'm trying to think of what would be really good for her, and it's entirely defensive. I think you want her slow. You want the song to last as long as possible. She's a great double shield will unit. Great for double shield will. Endure runes could be really good here, or even the team runes. The team-based buff runes could be decent. It's a heal over time for your entire team, and you also gain attack power and boost everybody by 15% attack bar. You could run her on fight, you could run her on tolerance, whatever you want. She doesn't boost her own attack bar though. She boosts everybody else's attack bar. No, she's not meant for that. She's not meant to be a first turn booster. There's units that are meant to be first turn boosters. This is not it. Because if you build her fast, her skill 2 is, yeah. So this is a support unit in every sense of the word. And 15% is a very small attack bar boost. When you talk about Bernard, Bastet, Megan, Kabila, they're all doing like 35 to 50% attack bar boosts. Well, I guess Frigate would be your 50% booster, right? Like they all do much larger boosts than this unit. 15% really isn't that much by comparison. It might be enough to give you an edge in some scenarios, but it's really meant to be everybody on your team goes, she goes, boosts everybody up a little bit more, and maybe you get to take a second turn before the other team gets a second turn, right? So, cool. Interesting unit. It's... Well, I think she'll take some testing. I think she'll take some blah, blah, blah. She'll take some testing out, especially playing around with different comps and whatnot. PvP, depending on your usage, could be double shield will, it could be shield nemesis. You probably don't want nemesis on her, actually. Could be triple will, could be will endure, because you want to get her up to 100% resistance, plus have that will rune on her. Energy guard runes could actually be viable on her. So if you got some of those runes kicking around that you're like, man, I just can't find a good use for these in PvP, well, maybe now you'll have one. Okay, she can also be really good in PvE content too, though. With these abilities, she could actually be really good in PvE content. Is her skill 2 is a dot that doesn't count as a debuff. It doesn't count towards your 10 debuff limit on monsters in like TOA hard, right? And it should work on bosses like Tartarus, bosses like TOA bosses that can't be dotted. So I think there's a big PvE element to this unit as well, where she can shine. Cool. All right, on to the water one. Flower Blooming Song, same as the other one. The glancing hit with 50% chance, probably goes up to like 65 with skill ups. Dissonance, so shares this with the Dark unit. Attacks all enemies 3 times to stun them for 1 turn with a 15% chance each. With each attack, decreases the attack bar by 10% each if the target is under inability effect. So inability being stuns and freezes, okay? We'll get to the win one in a sec. You guys are going faster than me here. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 15% chance isn't much, but over 3 turns, that's 45%. So if it goes, if we get to increase that activation chance through skill ups, that could actually be really strong. Really strong. Okay. Admiration of String Sound. Plays a song that grants immunity on yourself for 1 turn and blocks the enemies from getting beneficial effects until the next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. Interesting. Very interesting. It won't be irresistible. It would say if it was going to be irresistible, so it'll still be subject to accuracy resistance check, because all it's going to do is apply a beneficial block debuff on the enemy, right? It is essentially what it does. But if you're able to rune this unit fast enough to go before a Bastet or a Megan or a Wusa, something like that, you can actually prevent them from being able to apply any buffs to themselves in that first turn, or faster than a Fran. Okay, so she could be a preemptive. It's like, hey, I don't have a good stripper, but I have this. Might be a buff itself. I think it'll be the debuff for beneficial block. Unless they're introducing a whole new buff to the game, which I don't think is what they're going to be doing. In any case, there's viability there. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be a game-changing mechanic unless her base speed or base stats are like really good. It'll be interesting to see, though. Their songs are the buff. Their song is what keeps it active, right? It's a different mechanic to how the buff goes. If it's a field effect, yeah, but We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. So if you guys get one and I don't, let me know so that we can play around with it, okay? Because we'll definitely going to be wanting to do some testing on this because the wording is a little ambiguous and we'll have to see which direction it goes. But all right, wind. So Flower Blooming Song is the same. Melody of Resentment. This is the one that decreases HP by 5%, right? It's basically a dot on whichever enemy is taking a turn while the song is playing. They lose 5% HP for every turn they take, and their attack power is reduced with a 50% chance. Master Hand's passive uses the Melody of Resentment when attacked by the enemies while not playing the song. The damage you receive will be decreased by 30% while playing the song. Okay. That's so you pair this up with the Dark Artmaster and you put Threat State on her. and that way your song is always playing, right? Seems very situational. I can see where she would be good in some areas, but all you have to do is like not hit her, and that passive is a moot point. And until you need to hit her, in which case you've already, if she's the only thing left on the map, well, you've already lost, right? So little lackluster in my mind. I don't know. We'll have to see how strong Melody of Resentment is, but we'll go from there. She takes 30%, like 30% damage reduction is pretty huge, but that's only when the song is playing. So the first time you get hit by something, you don't get that 30% damage reduction, so you could still be one-shotted. All right, light unit. Flower Blooming Song, same deal. Melody of Resentment, same deal. Solo String, passive ability. There's only 3 passive abilities between all 10 of these units, by the way. Your attack bar is decreased by 10% when an enemy gains a turn while playing the song. So it increases the duration of the song, essentially. This is not a bad thing. Your attack bar is increased by 20% when an enemy gains a turn while not playing the song. Okay, so Wind and Light, their passives are 2 different ways of trying to keep your song active all the time. That's pretty neat. That's actually pretty neat. I feel like that is a unit I would build and play with. I would build and play any of these because, you know, content, that's what we do. But I feel like that is actually going to be fairly strong. Because that is, like, she's almost guaranteed to have that song. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of cooldowns we have on these songs. If there's more than like a 3-turn cooldown on that Melody of Resentment, I almost feel like Wind might actually be a little bit stronger. But the field buff mechanic is really neat. Is really neat. Yeah, I'm getting to the dark one. Relax. All right, so dark one, Flower Blooming Song, same deal. Dissonance, same as the water one here. Attacks all enemies 3 times to stun them for 1 turn with a 15% chance, and decreases the attack bar by 10% if the target is under inability effect. So again, stun or freeze. If they're already stunned or frozen, or if they get stunned off, say, your first attack, then your next 2 attacks can decrease the attack bar by 10 and 20%. Pretty cool, right? Cursed Music. Plays a song that increases the attack speed of all allies, excluding yourself, for 2 turns, and increases the damage of all allies and enemies by 25% until the next turn starts. You cannot attack together or counterattack while playing the song. Okay, fair. If you're playing the song, you cannot help your team any further than that, because you need to focus on playing your tune, right? That's really interesting. That is a bit of a YOLO, right? You build this unit to move before your damage dealers, okay? But this is above and beyond an attack buff. No, I don't think it applies to your other team members. It's only this unit. It doesn't say it doesn't specify monsters on the other side of the field. It specifies you in reference to the monster. So it's only going to be this thing. But so I like first thought is Lucian. Let's talk about a Lucian arena offense team, right? Let's talk about what would be a normal fat Lucian comp. So you've got your speed lead, you've got your attack bar slash attack power buffer, Bastet or Megan, or whatever other unit. You've got your fat Lucian, and then you've got this unit, right? So your attack buffer goes, boosts everybody up. Then this unit, or you could have this unit go first. It really doesn't matter. But speed tuning would be easier to have your attack buffer go first still. Then this unit goes, plays her song. You get your attack speed boost as well. So your speed tuning on your Lucian, you can't really have a fat Lucian, I guess, because he would be too slow. You'd probably still get cut. Unless your attack bar booster slow cleave could be really good, but it basically gives you an extra 25% damage. Now if you don't kill everything on the field, you're going to be receiving 25% extra damage from whatever is left on the enemy side as well. So that's interesting. I think she might take some playing around with, but if you can get the speed tuning for your team right, I think you can really set up some serious nukes, serious damage with a unit like this. I can already think of my speed Lucian team of Bernard, Megan, double Lucian. If I replaced my slower, shittier Lucian with this unit and had it go before my other Lucian, so I've got double boosters plus this, that's an extra 25% damage on my main Lucian. I have no need for the other one anymore. But it is a little more YOLO. She's a little more YOLO. So that's a concern. That is a concern. Unless you can cycle her attack bar, but her song lasts for 2 turns, not 1 turn like all the other string masters. Her song lasts for 2 turns, so you would have to cycle her attack bar fairly quickly to try and prevent the opponent from benefiting from that buff. It might be better just to put an attack leader, but in the case of the Bernard team, Bernard is your attack leader. He's an extra 30% to wind attack, right? I'm using one team as a reference, but it is it's an interesting unit. She'll take some testing, and in the right drafts, in the right comps, I think she could do a lot of good. She could also make doing high damage. You know where I kind of want to use this unit? Might be in TOA rushes. In the final stages. I don't know if she's super necessary though. Like people already have really good damage there. It might make TOA hard a little bit easier to really pump out some crazy high cleave damage to push up in your TOA hard to clear that a little quicker. So, you know, we'll see. Just wait for Aegiserver to make use of her and become a new meta. Maybe. Gotta summon her first. That's right. LD scrolls only. All right. So to round out the update, we got some other improvements. So user convenience improvements, Temple of Wishes, a notification pop-up that displays when you try to make a wish with crystals will now have the "don't show this again today" feature. Yeah, that's really for the pay-to-win people going after LD Nat 5s, right? Water Brownie Magician, an effect sound will now be played when increasing the ally's attack bar with Harmless Prank. Nobody has the sound turned on anyway. And you already know that's what he does. That is a built-in mechanic. Why don't you give us some type of notification when I put an enemy skills on cooldown with something? Would make more sense. Okay, sure. Thank you, I guess. Shop improvements. Shop. The limited item designs have been improved, and the notification conditions for new products have been eased. Go to shop menu that directs you to the shop from the daily pack buff icon in the village has been added. This feature will be available when the daily pack 1-2 effects are about to end. So it's giving you a notification if you're buying the daily packs. It gives you a notification when they end and a quick shortcut right back to the shop so that you can go and buy the next daily pack to keep your buff going. It's okay. Whatever. People aren't going to get PTSD because nobody has the sound turned on. Who the hell plays with the sound turned on? Unless you need it, unless you're using it for an audible cue when you're AFK farming dungeons, so you can come back and cycle your dungeon run. That's about it, I think. I don't think people really play with sound on otherwise. All right, the minimum requirement of the software version will be modified from 8.0 to 9.0 for iOS users. So iOS users, myself on this iPad, I'm gonna have to check to make sure that your iOS is 9.0 or later, because otherwise you won't be able to play the game. This was notified to us about a week ago as well, so you should still hopefully you've caught up with that, but that update will be going live tonight. String Master Scroll available in the new Monster String Master giveaway and skill level up event can be claimed at the event page after the global server auto update. 100 accumulated points required. So again, that is going up at 11:45 p.m. Pacific time. The update is going to happen, and there you have it, guys. So YouTube, let me know down in the comments below what you think of these new units. Was all the hype worth it? Are these new units game changing? Are they going to change anything? Are they going to be meta changing? Are they good? Are the ones that are good, suspected to be good, going to be just too hard to acquire outside of a select few players to really change anything? You know, as with any new unit, it's going to take time for it to really make its way into the ecosystem in a quantity that's going to have a large effect. But let me know what you guys are hyped for in the comments below. Let me know which String Master you guys are really hoping to see and acquire from your event scroll: fire, water, or wind. Personally, I don't care. I really don't care which one I get. None of them sound super OP to me, so I'm not like, oh, I need to have this one, I need to have that one. They all sound like they're going to be fun to play with, and until they're tested out and played around with a little bit, don't really know which one I'm hoping to get. So, you know, water sounds fun, wind sounds fun, fire sounds fun. They all sound fun. So I don't care which one I get. I'm going to be happy regardless of which one I get. I just want to be able to build it. Of course, it won't have skill ups right away, so it might be less exciting. But yeah, there you go. So as always, you guys, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, since I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Happy summoning.